Welcome back to episode 5 of Steelheads tonight. The Steelheads had a great game on Wednesday night against the Erie Otters, beating them 5-2 in a physical matchup. We had a few scraps,
We
a,
did.
que a questionable hit from Sherrod that could cost them more than one game. Um, but all in all, a good game for the Steelheads, 5-2 against Erie. Um, Bowen didn't look too bad, only letting in 2 goals. Still not too sure on him. He's either really good in net or he is shaky. So jury's not out on that one, but a win's a win in the OHL. We'll take it.
It is a win.
Winkowski, yep, Winkowski scored 2 goals. Oh, what the heck happened? Winkowski scored 2 goals. Bottineau scored, Dominglio scored, and Zabeski scored. Um, but yeah, very, very physical game. Um, there was a lot of penalty minutes for the Steelheads. They had 34 minutes in penalties. But half of that
Deal.
goes to Gabe Sherratt with his 5-minute major for fighting, his five for the blind side in the game misconduct.
Yeah. I
Um,
don't know I really don't know how to feel about that game misconduct because I saw the hit again afterwards and I'm like, I think it's kind of hard to I think it was they kind of did that a little preemptively. Like they did that. I don't think that was a game misconduct hit in my opinion.
it's a hard thing to discuss because yes, it was a blindside hit because
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100% was
he
a
didn't
blindside
see it
hit, but he
coming.
didn't hit his head on like it's not like he hit his head directly.
No,
That's
no,
what they're trying to
I'm not saying
get
it was a headshot at all, but it was a blind side hit for sure. And in junior hockey, that's not allowed, so I understand that
Yeah.
aspect of it, but it still could be more than a game because it was a blind
Yeah,
side hit.
of the game, yeah, the blindside hit, yeah. Game misconduct's never help, but at the same time, we're not in control of those decisions. We don't know what those meetings are like with referees on the ice when they're discussing it with the replay people.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know what's said
Don't know
in
what
those
goes with that.
reviews. Again, now Sherratt leads the team with goals and 10. Um, Fibiger has 8. He's playing very well. Kieran
Doesn't he lead the
Witkowski
team in
has
points right now?
7.
Yeah.
Yeah, Witkowski has 7, so he's picking up the pace here. Um, Bottineau scored his second of the year after having 4 games off, it feels like, for to give him a chance to regroup.
Obviously, it helped because we didn't see him. Last time he scored was the home opener.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he's been cold as of late, and I guess he needed some time off, and
A good reset
uh,
for him, obviously.
exactly, a nice little reset for him. And it worked so far after one. It's only been one game, but
I don't judge it off of goals. I judge it on overall performance. Like if he's a consistent contributor and if he's on the ice and they're and his plus minus is in the positives, I that's a win for me.
yeah,
If you're
exactly.
on the ice for points and you're putting in strong shifts,
Yeah. Um, let's take a look again at the standings after a few games yesterday. Brantford's still in first in the East Division. Um, Barrie is in first in the Central by 6 points over North Bay. In the Midwest, Owen Sound is 1 point up on London. Kitchener is 1 point back of London for second in the Midwest. And Windsor's 2 points up on Flint in the West Division. The Steelheads are fourth in the Central, but are only 1 point back of Niagara for third in the Central Division. So with a good weekend this weekend, hopefully they can pass Niagara and maybe even North Bay because they're only 3 points back on North Bay as well.
yeah, and Kingston's in that mix as well. Like right now, the Steelheads are holding on obviously to that last playoff spot in the East, and right now that would be a Bradford matchup, which would be a very fun series to watch, but not much confidence because of how much of a powerhouse Bradford is.
Yeah, and as of recording of this episode, Brentford still hasn't lost in regulation, which is incredible playing
That's
23
crazy
games.
talent.
and winning 18 and losing four in a shootout or in overtime and one
Kind
in a
of point in
shootout.
every game they played in, like, and that's why they obviously have a 10 point lead on Barry, who's considered second for some reason with because Ottawa has more
Well,
points. Like sometimes I don't understand how the standings work in the O.
that's why I went off of or the divisions because it's
Yeah.
gives me a headache.
Oh, I understand it. Barry's leading the division. That's why they're ahead of Ottawa.
Yeah. Um, well, Jason, do we think Bowen is turning things around as of late? Like, do we think it can continue, or do you think it's just a hot streak with just having two subpar teams in Sudbury and Erie?
I think he is kind of turning over a leaf. Sometimes you need like a couple of those games where you know it's like, okay, this team is like a team that's lower than us in their standings. This is my chance to really try and turn things around. And I think getting like a couple wins like that is a real confidence booster for a goalie. And obviously, you would like to see him perform like that against every team, not all the time, but like because that's not realistic. But you'd like to see a consistent thing out of him, like a performance out of him. And I think this game with Brantford coming up tomorrow, it's gonna be a real test. It's gonna be like, okay, were these two games just because the teams were lower, or is he gonna come out and just absolutely dominate his crease?
Yeah, like you just said, like we were in Brantford when the Steelheads were there a couple weeks ago, and it was a very shaky game for Bowen. Um, the offense tried to bail him out to come back and tie, but unfortunately came up short. So yeah, this will be a huge test for Bowen facing Brantford on Friday. Um, like I said, hopefully he's not shaky like he was a couple weeks ago against them, but they are a hard team to face.
Yeah, and obviously with this weekend, it's Brantford
Sudbury.
and Sudbury again. So and
So you
Sudbury, that
should be
was like, even
winning.
though they're a last place team, like in the division, that was a very competitive game. And obviously, we were sitting with the family, very nice people.
Yeah,
I will
and
say,
yeah, they should at least win one of the two this weekend.
if not
Um,
both, that would be
if not,
a
like
very big.
both would be fantastic. But if you can win
Yeah.
if you can win one and tie one and split it, you're okay with it. Um, but like we said, if Bowen's turning things around, do we still think that JR should trade for a goalie? I think they have to
I
because
believe
we
they
don't
have
have a
to
number two.
because right now I don't know like what the whole deal is with like Luke Johnson. Like he's
Yeah,
backing
we
up,
just
but he's kind of just there to be there almost.
yeah, like we said on Monday, we have or Tuesday, we have no idea what's going on with Johnson and why he's not playing. But like they do need another goaltender, so I truly think they should trade for one.
Yeah, I think JR has to really look into that.
Yeah.
Honestly, like
Um.
if Johnson's not getting an opportunity, like his opportunities, what's the point of having him on the roster? Like I hate being that guy, but it's like I think Luke Johnson
y-
even starting to think like
well,
I'm
yeah. When you're not playing,
here.
why be here? It's a meaningless thing for you to show up when you're not going to be playing.
Yeah, and they obviously
Like
called him
like
up from the
like
Chicago Reapers team.
like I understand, be there in case your goalie gets hurt, be a good teammate, all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, you want to play and you're not getting that opportunity. So yeah,
This
you're
kid's
gonna
only
start
16 as
thinking,
well. Like he still has many years in the O. Like I'm not saying that they called him up prematurely, but he is just up because of whatever's going on with the other goalies in our system.
yeah, because we don't know, like we know, we believe that Shabowski is down with his junior team again. We don't know what happened with Paolini. I assume more of the same. So yeah, I really think they need to trade for a goaltender.
And you
Um,
need to trade someone who's been like has experience. Like
exactly.
that way,
You can't bring in somebody that hasn't
yeah.
had much experience in the OHL. You have to have somebody that's
Bear needs to trade for someone that he knows it's like, okay, this guy can be a solid backup, if not even a solid number one if need be.
exactly exactly. That's what you need. You need somebody with experience in the O. Like I'm not saying go out and trade for London to get their goaltender because that's not going to happen. But if you can get a solid backup who can maybe outplay Bowen and win the job going into the playoffs, that's a different story. But they really, really need somebody else to back up Bowen because we've discussed this before, and I'm gonna keep on saying it. He is being overworked like crazy.
Yeah, and it's like that's not good. That's not good because like obviously if the Steelers do get into the playoffs, he's gonna be very exhausted. He's gonna be very exhausted at that point if we keep on going on this trend of just him in net without him having
Yeah,
a consistent like okay this is your day where you're not gonna be starting like it's gonna be so and so in net like kind of thing.
yeah. Um, Jason, do we think any of the Steelheads right now could make their World Junior teams? Like like how
I think
we've had in
someone
the
who's a for
previous, we've had
sure.
Fibbiger in the
Yeah,
past.
Fibger I think is definitely up for sure because he's obviously been on there before. He's done it. I think he's probably the one who's definitely I'm thinking who's a not that not 100%, but I think there's a solid chance that he makes
Ye-
Czechia's team.
Yeah, I'd say probably 90% chance that he makes it.
Yeah,
Um, maybe
looking at the other guys on
Sherratt,
our roster, yeah, Sherrod has a
maybe
good shot.
Sherratt.
I'd even say a
Um,
guy like Parker von Richter. Even
yeah, I mean,
I know
I'm not
Kid
gonna
is not
say
doing
no.
the like. I mean, I know that Kid is just gonna do the guys that they're just gonna be like you're on the team kind of thing now. That we're not doing a camp. Well, we're
Yeah,
doing a camp, but it's gonna be for
that's what
everyone
most
who's on the team. We don't have any broken hearts at the end of the.
yeah, that's what most insiders are reporting. That is how it sounds like it's gonna happen, but only time will tell because we're only a few weeks out from camp now.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, so we think Fibbiger, possibly Sherratt, and possibly Von Richter
yeah. I think those three
for
would definitely be the top three of who come to my mind.
yeah, I yeah, I can agree with that truthfully because
And maybe in a few years we'll be talking about maybe guys like Peter Green and Keaton Arda going there because I
yeah,
think
I wouldn't
those
say
guys are
it
just
just
they need
now.
more development.
Yeah,
They need more
I'd say
development.
in a couple of years.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the Steelheads, as we were discussing, play Brantford on Friday and Sudbury on Saturday. I expect the matchup for Saturday, um, it'll probably be or for Friday, it'll probably be Bowen and who's the uh not leaders, but the other Igorov.
Oh, Igorov.
Igorov. So I
Igorov.
assume it'll be those two on Friday. Saturday is probably gonna be Bowen again.
I think Luke Dawson
Because
actually has not a solid chance, but I think there might be a chance that he might get the nod for that one. That's just what I'm thinking right now. But even though it's probably going to be Bowen, I'm like, why not give the kid a shot against a team that is lower in the standings?
yeah, I mean you're right on that, but I think it's still gonna be Bowen. And like I said, I'll be happy with a 1-1 weekend, but 2-0 would be fantastic.
Yeah, it'd be a nice feel. It would be a good feeling like to have a 3-0 week.
Especially if we can be the first team to beat Brantford in regulation.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be a very nice thing to. We had it last year against London. We were the last team to beat them before they went on that long winning streak
Yeah, because
season. We were the
London went
last team
on
to
like a
beat them.
20 plus win streak at one point last season,
And
and
they came to Brampton last year, just before that, and the Steelheads
well,
beat them.
that was before they had Cowan back. That was before they had Bonk back. So London was
Hey, stop
struggling
making
before
excuses for
then.
the London Knights.
I'm not making excuses because I never make excuses for London Knights. I'm just saying hypothetically it was before they had Bonk back and it was before they had Cowan back. So maybe if they had those two players, maybe it wouldn't have been a Steelheads win, but nonetheless, I'll take it. Well, our alumni spotlight for this week or for this episode is Chaz Sharp, former Steelheads captain and alternate captain. Um, as you can see on the screen here, he is now playing with the Toronto Marlies for the Leafs organization. Um, Chaz was a pretty good player with the Steelheads, spending his whole career in junior with them. Um, very, very physical. Was great. was a great first line defensive person, Jason.
Yeah, he was. And obviously, I look at the last season, obviously, that was a season where his points jumped up a lot. I think he really stepped up as a leader that year because he knew he's like, okay, all these guys that we had on the team before are all gone now. Like, I gotta step up. And he did. Like, to his credit, he really did. He was the captain of the team that year. I don't know why Elite Prospects doesn't have a C next to his Steelheads in the 23-24 season because he was the captain. But he was a great leader on that team that year.
Yeah, great leader. One thing that we don't really see much in junior anymore is a player playing with the same team his whole time. Like right now with Brampton, Mason Zabeski's been the only other player in recent memory for me to be playing with one team for his whole OHL journey.
Yeah, another player that comes to mind for me. Oh man, that's actually yeah. Never mind. I can't even finish that sentence right now. No, nobody's coming really to mind.
Yeah. I mean, with
Oh, James
Chaz
Hardy.
Sharp,
There we go. James
James Hardy,
Hardy.
yeah. With Chaz Sharp though, like you said, great leader. Could get you the points that when you needed it. But like look at his 24-25 with Cincinnati, leading the
Yeah,
team with 46 points, 25 of those goals. Like you don't see defensemen score over 10 goals usually in a season, and he scored 25 in 63 games.
that's crazy. And obviously he's up. He obviously earned that promotion to the Marlies, but I don't even think the Cyclones are even a part of the Leafs organization anymore.
No, they're not, and that's why Chaz is with the Marlies now. And
It's a
you
well-deserved
guys,
promotion nonetheless.
yeah, and he's finally got his first two professional goals in the AHL in the 10 games he's played so far with the Marlies.
Do
But
you ever think there's a chance that he might get called up to the Leafs this season?
see, I would love to see him come up to the Leafs because I'm a big Chaz Sharp guy. Um, but they'd also have to buy the contract. So
Yeah, that's right. He's on a Marlies contract.
yeah, so that's the part where it gets complicated because it's not impossible, but it's highly unlikely because they have to buy the contract then. Because they had to do the same with Alex Nylander last year for the time that he was with the Leafs. So so yeah, it's a hard harder way to get up to the NHL. So, but stay tuned for Monday or Tuesday of next week where we'll recap the two games from this weekend and set up the school day game on Wednesday against Guelph. So stay tuned for that on Monday or Tuesday. And then again, we'll be back again next Friday to recap that game and to set up the weekend ahead next week. Um, but until then, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.